Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Chase. We'll get to the daily part sooner or later. We're still kind of working out some of the kinks, but I appreciate you sticking with it. Anyways, I'm your host, Chase Victorson, and I'm here to try and make you laugh. So let's jump right into it. Car theft is on an uptick in Canada, with some criminals breaking into the homes of citizens to steal the keys to the cars parked in their driveway. To combat this, the Toronto police actually suggested that the public leave their key fobs at the front door to prevent the possibility of being attacked in your own home by thieves that are breaking in to steal your car. However, I say if you really want to be safe, you should probably just hand them the keys right when you buy the car at the dealership. A bipartisan group of senators have called for the passing of a bill that could lead to a ban on the app TikTok here in the United States, ironically announcing their move in a video posted to TikTok. Neil Young has announced the end of his boycott of Spotify now that Joe Rogan's podcast is no longer exclusive to the service and will be streamed on Amazon and Apple. Mr. Young said, quote, "I cannot just leave Amazon and Apple like I did with Spotify because my music would have a very little streaming outlet to music lovers all over the world," according to a press release. I will point out that there is a small typo, however, in the press release because he forgot to include the language, "because I'm a filthy hypocrite that loves money." In global news, a 103-year-old Italian woman has been fined for driving on an expired license. According to police, her license was expired in 1987, which is ironic because that's the last time she turned her blinker on. Anyways, police were called to a reported dangerous driving scenario in Italy around 1 a.m. where they found the 103-year-old woman drag racing for pink slips. When asked what she will do now that the police have an eye out for her and know that her license is revoked, the woman said, quote, "I've already bought a Vespa." New York has ordered the National Guard into the New York City subway system in an attempt to quell the violence that has been plaguing the city for the past few years. The move has prompted cries from progressive Democrats who were previously for defunding the police. At first, representatives like AOC were sad about the implications that this may have, saying, quote, "We do not want another stop and frisk-like situation." However, once AOC realized that anyone who is ever arrested for anything in New York is released without bail, she said, "Oh, as long as we're just inconveniencing everybody, I have no problem with that. Bring on the police state." Gen Zers are getting increasingly nearsighted and face mounting risks of serious vision problems, including blindness. Allegedly, this is from staring at their electronic devices all day indoors while missing out on natural sunlight during puberty. Boy, things really have changed. Back in my day, kids used to go blind for masturbating too much. The UN has finally acknowledged that Hamas committed rape and sexualized torture during the October 7th attacks against Israel, saying that there are now, quote, "reasonable grounds to believe that sexual violence occurred," something that witnesses and survivors have been saying for months. This goes to prove my theory that the UN is the most important and decisive investigative body in the world and always knows exactly what they're doing. A Japanese principal has been fired after getting caught stealing less than 50 cents worth of coffee. The principal admitted to taking a large cup, but only paying for a medium on 7 different occasions, bringing the total theft to about 490 yen, which is about $3.26 worth of coffee. The school board cited gross misconduct unbecoming of an educational public servant, and that they were very sorry from the bottom of their hearts for allowing it to happen. After announcing this, the administrator, the principal, the superintendent, and even the head of the Japanese education department immediately committed the ritual of seppuku. President Biden announced on Thursday that a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas is in the hands of the terrorist group, saying that the deal calls for a 6-week pause in hostilities in Gaza and the release of 40 hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails. Man, if Hamas is getting 6 weeks of a ceasefire and their prisoners back, and all they have to do is give up 40 of the nearly 130 prisoners that they must have hired whoever traded the Merchant of Death for Brittany Grenier. Shocking footage captures the moment a 60-year-old grandmother orca was seen attacking and killing a great white shark, which goes to show you that even nature is looking to end great white privilege. New self-identification law in Spain aimed at helping transgender people has Spanish soldiers changing their gender from male to female on paper. This change allows them to earn certain benefits available only to women, such as higher pay and better sleeping quarters. The now female soldiers, however, have kept every other aspect of their life, including their male genitalia and their facial hair. When asked why they made the change only on paper, one soldier said, "If you don't think I'm a girl just because I have balls and facial hair, you can suck my dick." An amateur archaeologist and his dog were walking the forests of France near his home when they discovered bones sticking out of a cliffside. It took nearly 2 years for archaeologists to dig down and release the bones, which belonged to a nearly complete skeleton of two dinosaurs. Having been found, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi said, "Okay, now it's your turn to hide." So they closed their eyes and started counting to 100. The UK's first national news anchor, who is transgender, has reported author J.K. Rowling to the police for misgendering her as a man on social media, saying that, quote, "Rowling has definitely committed a crime and that it is a cut and dry offense." This reminds us of the age-old adage that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will literally kill a millionaire. An 11-year-old boy has died after suffering cardiac arrest during a chroming social media challenge where participants spray chrome paint into a bag and then inhale the vapors. When speaking to a paper, the boy's mom said, quote, "He had a heart of gold just like his dad, who ironically died after suffering a cardiac arrest after participating in a golding social media challenge." Members of a Mexican cartel shot at migrants who were taking Ubers to cross the southern border illegally, leaving one woman dead and several people injured. It's not clear why the cartel shot at the migrants, but they were witnessed escaping the scene via lift. A man running multiple cons around Texas allegedly passed himself off as a paralegal, charging one victim he met at a Burger King for legal services to process a divorce. This makes a lot more sense than what I thought it said when I first read it, as a man who passed himself off as a paraplegic. Chocolate prices are likely to soar as African cocoa processing plants can't afford to buy beans, prompting cries of hooray and yippee from the country of gonorrhea. And finally, the 2024 Olympics will be held in Paris this year, making Paris only the second city to host the Olympics 3 times. This edition of the Games will also be gender balanced, with an equal number of male and female athletes competing for the first time ever, which isn't the only first for Paris. These Olympics will also see a plethora of new games, including climbing, skateboarding, and the first ever event with a sponsor. The FedEx delivery will pit countries against each other to determine which country's women have the biggest packages. Spain is projected as an early favorite. Well, that's about all I know. My name's Chase Victorson, and remember to keep your stick on the ice.